Hi, Jimmy Johnson here in the Patriot League studio, and I'm joined now by Holy Cross fourth-year head coach Bob Chesney. He's coming back with his Crusaders to try and win a third straight Patriot League championship as they get ready for a fall season. Fall football, it's back. How great is it to hear that phrase again?
It's awesome. Our guys have, been longing for this, obviously. And I think playing in the spring was, there's so many positives that we're able to take from it. But I think now in-person meetings, in the locker room together, on the field together, that it's a little bit different than what it was this past semester, but we're finally feels back to normal.
Obviously, one of the big positives was a Patriot League championship. But what are some of the little takeaways that you can take away from that spring season that are going to help you for this full slate coming up?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think a lot of guys got experience, right? A lot of younger guys got experience, but there's also these new acclimatization rules that the NCAA put into place, which is 7 helmeted practices. And for us in the fall, it was different for other schools, but for us in the fall, we only were allowed to go with helmets. So I think we learned a lot about how to practice safely in those situations. So I'm hoping that pays dividends moving forward for those 7 days. At least we can maximize and get as much from that as we possibly can. And then I just think the ability to adapt, right? The ability to adapt, the ability to, be able to roll with just about anything are positives that, we were able to gain from this past spring.
You mentioned new guys getting experience. One of them, Matthew Sluka, game 1 of the spring season, nobody really knew who he was. By game 3, he was leading you to a Patriot League championship. Can you talk a little bit about the experience he gained at quarterback during that short season, and how excited are you to see him heading into this full season now?
Yeah, well, Matt really his 4-game season for him was really only 1 week that he was under center as the starting quarterback, and I think when he was not here in the fall with us, there was only a limited amount that were allowed back, and then the whole first part of the spring he was far behind, and I think trying to catch up, it was coming from scout team reps, it was coming from those things, and then we eventually said this guy's got to get on the field, and I think deservingly so, he proved us all right. So I think that he's gained a lot of knowledge from not only how to sit in meetings to how to take notes to what he's supposed to be looking for. That was all stuff that was pretty raw for him at the beginning. And I think right now he's using that first year and using a lot of the pressure and the stuff that he had to learn under fire. And, he's turning into a really, really good football player right now.
He's obviously one of the names we're going to look to on the offensive side of the ball in the Patriot League this year. There's plenty. Fordham has Tim DeMora at back as the preseason offensive player of the year. They had 2 running backs and 2 wideouts also on that all-league preseason team. So offense around the league is going to be tough. So defense is going to be key, and Holy Cross defense has been great over the last couple of years under your control. And can you just talk a little bit about like Jacob Dobbs, John Smith, and the guys there who are coming back and leading this strong defense?
Yeah, I think you just Dobbs, but Liam Anderson, the other linebacker that plays inside, is just a phenomenal football player. Those both together, they're very different football players, but both that type A personality and just really, really tough football players. But they are really fun to watch, and they play off each other's strengths really, really well. And then there's a couple other guys in that group as well that have had a lot of experience in the past, and we're going to need a lot from moving forward. If we get to the corner position, I think John Smith, Devin Haskins, Terrence Spence, there's 3 guys in there that are going to be kind of duking that thing out. And then you get to the 3 safeties and the overhangs, but then you get up front to the D line and you start going through those names. And Noah Johnson's back for a 5th year, Jason Modak, Matt Cedeno, Benton Whitley, Dan Kuznetov, Jake Reichwein. There's just so many guys in that front group that was very, very strong last year. And we're going to need a lot from them moving forward as well. So I like where we're at. I think that, we lead the spring relatively healthy. We'll actually get some guys back that got hurt at the beginning of the spring that did not play the entire spring for us. And I'm excited to see, those guys back in it. Dom Thomas, Tenio Ianni, Ayer Asante, 3 guys that really didn't play much football for us last year. Didn't play any. Ayer played 1 game, and that was it. And the other 2 didn't play any. So, it's fun to watch them compete. It's fun to watch them grow. And I'm just really excited about the future.
Lastly, I have to bring up the kicker, Derek Ing. He's had a great career so far, had some pretty big kicks, and he can kick from pretty far out. He's had some long field goals for your team. How much of a difference maker is it to have a player like that on your team when Patriot League games can be close and you might need those 3 points for sure?
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of firepower all around this league right now. That's for sure. And I think that, having the ability, to get inside that 50-yard line and start thinking field goal, soon after that is, huge for any team, knowing that there's points on the board. You don't want it to take away from the aggressive nature that you might play offensively, but at the same time, it is good to know that you can count on that. And you can't always count on it, but for the most part, you can count on it. And I really like, Derek's growth. He does a good job of leading. He's not just a kicker either. He does a great job in the weight room. He does a great job on the field. Everything he does, he makes sure he's part of this team. And that's really, really important for any kicker. You want to be part of that team and not just, running a side business. So I love watching him, and I love watching Pat Hogney and those other guys, in the specialist position, specialist group. They're doing a very good job. And I just, I'm excited to see them start to reach their potential.
We got a couple practices to go, but I cannot wait to see you guys out there in September. Look forward to the season. Thank you for taking the time out, and good luck this year.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jimmy. Yeah, looking forward to represent Holy Cross in the Patriot League. Thank you so much.